There's a million different videos on YouTube about what gear you need to be a prepper. And I want to let you know, this video is not one of them. Because to me, prepping isn't about the things that you own. It's about the decisions you make before things go wrong. Because being a prepper to me is a lifestyle. It's about a choice that I made one day to be self-reliant, to not leave my entire family's life in the hands of a system that might not show up when you need it. I know preppers can be looked upon as some crazy conspiracy theory hoarders, and that might be true for some of us.
You happen to know anyone who might want to buy 3,000 pounds of beans?
But a lot of preppers are just like me and you. They're just normal people with a normal job, living a normal life. But we paid attention to how fragile systems can be, and we decided that we'd rather rely on ourselves. So in this video, I want to explain to you why I'm a prepper, how I got here, and the mindset that shapes everything that I do. Not to scare you, but to get you thinking. My goal is just to share my thoughts around prepping and hopefully get your brain ticking too. And maybe get yourself thinking about why you should start getting prepared for what the future may hold. 2020 was where a lot of preppers were born, I think, because it truly showed the fragility of the system that we rely on. But even more so, it showed the true colors of the way people act in stressful situations like a pandemic. We witnessed in real time what a societal collapse would look like if systems did shut down. We witnessed everyday life fail. We had supply chains break. We had food shortages worldwide and everyday people freaking out buying hundreds of rolls of toilet paper. We witnessed our government here in Victoria, Australia, put us under martial law-like curfews, not allowing us out of our house between certain hours.
Stage 4 is here, our COVID hell far from over. Victoria is this very minute entering a state of disaster, and all of Melbourne will be under a strict curfew from 8 o'clock tonight as the way we shop and exercise is limited even further.
And even though these things are in the past, what it did show us is how quickly these things can happen and how unprepared everyone is for them. Now for me, prior to 2020, prepping was a YouTube interest. I enjoyed watching bunker videos. I enjoyed watching nut jobs store years worth of beans and rice under their beds. But I used to sit there and think, yeah, it could happen, but probably not. I've always been into knives and weapons. I've always had an interest in camping and outdoors. But during 2020, that's where it all changed for me. There was a time I remember and I was walking through a barren-like supermarket in disbelief. The shelves were completely empty and I was watching people argue over a last few couple of items. And as I watched, I thought to myself, none of us had a plan. And in that moment, that is exactly where my mindset changed towards prepping. That year, prepping went from being an interest to a lifestyle. Because after what we all went through, frankly, I don't believe or trust that they won't do it again. So for 6 years now, I've been prepping. I've been making sure that me and my wife have the best chance of survival in that moment when shit really does hit the fan. Because I refuse to put our lives in the hands of a government that has already shown us that they do not care. Now again, I'm a normal person with a normal job and a normal life. But I have definitely made some changes to the way that I operate on a daily basis to make sure that I have the best chance of survival. And I highly recommend you do the same. Because my worst case scenario is that I'm completely wrong. Nothing ever happens. I end up with a really well-stocked pantry and a shitload of good camping gear. So when I say I'm a prepper, I'm not saying that I live in fear. I'm saying I'm taking responsibility. I don't expect the world to end tomorrow, and I don't think society is going to collapse overnight. But I do know this: systems fail, supply chains break, and people panic. So preparedness to me is not paranoia, it's peace of mind. But your worst case scenario in something like this is one of a real life-threatening situation. A scenario where your family goes hungry or unprotected because you didn't prepare. I don't want this to sound like I'm fear-mongering. I truly hope that I'm wrong. I think I'm just smart enough to know that I'm not. But you also need to remember that prepping's not just about the government's not coming to save us. It's about, if the power went out for 7 days, would you be okay? If you couldn't leave your house for 2 weeks, what would you run out of first? Because in situations like bushfires, floods, and earthquakes, these are real scenarios that things like that are going to happen. So, what is my prepper mindset? It can really be boiled down to 3 things: supplies, skills, and security. So, let's talk about this further. Let's get a bit more serious and come to my office. Welcome to my office. People think that the fundamental basis of all prepping is supplies. Do you have enough bottled water to last you when the taps turn off? Or do you have a way of purifying water when the bottles run out? Do you have enough food and calories to keep you fed? And do you have foods that you actually enjoy to keep a smile on your face? And also, do you have ways of fighting infections and mending to wounds? Supplies is simple. It is, do I have the things that I need to never go to the shops again? Because if the grocery store one day just decided to stop restocking, that's going to be the reality for a lot of people. Do I have enough supplies to last me forever? Of course not. But I will get a good few months in. And when that day does come and supplies start to run low, that is when the real fundamental basis of what it means to be a prepper comes into action. And to me, what it means to truly be a prepper is skills. Because you can give a man a hammer, nails, the plans to build a house, but without the proper skills, he will never sleep a night under that roof. And those exact same rules apply when it comes to prepping. A good prepper is only as good as the skills that he has, not the supplies. In the last few years, skills have been the main focus of what I prep. Learning archery so I could learn hunting, learning to garden and sow seeds and harvest plants, all the way down to reading books on how to tie knots. Because trust me, it is easy to fall into the trap of just buying the coolest gear and thinking that you have it all figured out. Because the truth of the matter is, people who do not expose themselves to the environments of the bush, or expose themselves to the vulnerabilities of their skills, or expose themselves to the true limit of their own willpower, these would be the people who struggle to survive. Because having all the gear is great, but gear without skills is just dead weight. So if you take anything from this video, it is that I believe you need to focus on your skills. Enroll yourself in an archery program, join the local gardening community, learn bushcraft and how to build shelters and fires, do a first aid course. The list could go on and on and on. But just by picking one of these skills and getting better at it over time will prepare you tenfold than any gear will. Now this leaves us with the last one, which was security. Now when people think of security, they think of a whole room full of guns and ammo, which to be fair would be really freaking cool. But unfortunately I live in Australia and that's just not a reality here. So security means two things for me. Number one, being physically fit and training martial arts so that I have the best fighting chance to protect the people that I care about. And the second one is prepping, knowing that my family has the skills and supplies to give us the best fighting chance to survive. Because to me, security isn't just about weapons, it's about capability. When I say I'm a prepper, I'm not talking about fear and panic. I'm talking about complete ownership. I'm not waiting for the world to end. I'm not expecting society to collapse tomorrow, but I am realistic enough to know that systems don't always work the way that we think they will. Supply chains do fail, emergencies do happen, and people do act badly under pressure. And when that moment comes, responsibility, it falls on you first. Preparedness to me, it's about confidence. It's about knowing that if something does go wrong, no matter how big or small, my wife and I are not starting from zero because we have time, we have options, and we have capability. That is what this channel is built around. That is what this channel is about. It's not about doomsday. It's not about extremes. It's practical advice for normal people living normal lives. If you have ever thought that you should start getting your act together, then I want to let you know that you are in the right place because this isn't about fear. It's about being ready.